Hi, social studies friends. I am back with our continued virtual lesson on the ancient Greeks and the Greek gods and goddesses of Mount Olympus. So we're going to focus on a few friends today. And this first one is Hephaestus. He was the god of fire and blacksmiths. He was the son of Zeus and Hera. So let me show you his picture first. Okay. Hephaestus was born with bad luck. He was so weak and lame, Hera took one look at him and dropped him out of Olympus. He fell for a day and was rescued by the sea goddess, Thetis, and her sisters. They took him to their underwater grotto, and there he lived in secret. Hephaestus's body, though he could never walk, he became a master craftsman and made beautiful objects of gold in his smithy. Many he gave to the goddesses as thanks for their kindness. 9 years later, Hera saw Thetis wearing an exquisite brooch and demanded to know who had made it. A brooch is like a pin, and exquisite is something that's just so beautiful and magical and just gorgeous. When Hera heard it was Hephaestus, she regretted her actions. She called him back to Olympus, allowed him to marry Aphrodite, and created an even bigger workshop for him. Hephaestus became the worker of the gods. He made them golden palaces, chariots, weapons, and tools. For himself, he invented 2 golden maidens who helped him move about. His artistry was the pride of Olympus. So I'm going to show you again. He used fire. He was the god of fire. He was able to make beautiful things using the fire, probably to melt objects and make the gold. Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty. Aphrodite had no parents. She rose out of the sea on a cushion of foam. She was so beautiful, love bloomed around her, and sometimes jealousy. Despite Hera's protests, Zeus gave Aphrodite a throne on Olympus and made her Hephaestus' wife. But she wasn't always true to her homely husband, for Aphrodite wore a magic girdle that made love flare up among the gods. Even Eris was a victim of her beauty, though he loved war more. So here's Aphrodite. So she's the goddess of love and beauty. And of course, she's beautiful. And Poseidon. This one happens to be one of my favorites, only because I love the sea and the ocean so much. And he's the god of the sea and earthquakes, son of Cronus and Rhea. I don't like earthquakes, but I like the sea. Poseidon was moody. His temper could be as violent as the seas he ruled. He shook his trident and leaping waves flooded the land. He struck the earth and mountains erupted. When he was calm, rivers dried and islands formed. Poseidon created the first horse from a rock with one blow. He raced the waves and traveled to Olympus in his golden horse-drawn chariot. Most of the time, Poseidon lived in a golden underwater palace with his queen, Aphrodite, a lovely sea goddess. They had 3 children together, though Poseidon had many more. Like Zeus, he could not resist goddesses, nymphs, or mortals. So here is Poseidon. I love his trident. This is what they say he hits, and it causes the waves and the seas and the ocean to go crazy in like violent storms. Eros is the god of love. Eros was wild and mischievous. Some say he was born at the beginning of time. Some say he was the son of Aphrodite and Eris. Eros' greatest delight was to zip around shooting arrows of desire into innocent victims. Instantly they fell in love, whether they wanted to or not, and no one could stop him, not even Zeus. It looks like Cupid when we talk about Cupid sending an arrow of love for Valentine's Day. That's where they got it from. Eros, the god of love. Eris was a god not even a mother could like. He was cruel, bad-tempered, coward who loved war. The bloodier the battle, the better. In defeat, he was a bad loser. If he was wounded, he startled even the gods with his pitiful tears. Eris stirred up trouble wherever he went. Except for Aphrodite, remember she was the goddess of love and beauty, no one wanted him around. So Eris is the god of war, and he's the son of Zeus and Hera. So now we're kind of looking at the different families. If you remember, the families all started with Gaia, Mother Earth, and Uranus, Father... Sorry, I just want to make sure I get it right. Uranus was Father Sky. So it all starts like that, like our families start with our grandparents and our parents and us. This is where all the families started and all the gods and goddesses started as well. So I hope you enjoyed this little piece of adventure of the gods and goddesses. Tomorrow we will read a little bit more and we will learn more about these very interesting, little strange, mythical gods and goddesses who live on Mount Olympus, a palace in the sky. Bye, friends.